We're following some breaking news this morning as crews are still on the scene at Timeout Bar in Myrtle Beach, where a fire started overnight.
And News Channel 15's Joel Allen joins us now. Joel, we saw the video of those flames shooting out of the roof. What do you know at this point?
We start with breaking news just into our newsroom this morning. Overnight, New York Knicks player and Latta native Raymond Felton was arrested on 3 felony gun charges. In this breaking news, according to ESPN's website and the New York City Police Department, the Knicks point guard was arrested this morning on 2nd and 3rd degree criminal possession of a firearm. Also, some developing news we've been following all morning long. A water main break in North Myrtle Beach is spilling over into parts of North Ocean Boulevard. This is reported at 54th Avenue North and North Ocean Boulevard in North Myrtle Beach. And this is brand new video just into our newsroom. Wow, I had no idea the extent of this damage. Wow, Jack. As you can see, police on scene monitoring the situation. We're still working to get more information, but Department of Public Safety officials say just avoid this area. Again, 54th Avenue North and North Ocean.
Good morning, Carolinas. Thanks for waking up with us on your Valentine's Day Friday. Time right now is just after 6:01. I'm Jack Lamson.
And I'm Crystal Costa. And we do have some breaking news just into the newsroom. We're hearing of a car wreck on the 544 bridge that goes over the Intercoastal Waterway. And we've heard that medic units are being called out there.
Medic units actually also requesting that that bridge be shut down. No confirmation that that has happened yet. But if you are going to be traveling on 544 over the Intercoastal Bridge, you might want to seek an alternate route, as they've requested that bridge be shut down for an apparent accident. We'll, of course, bring you all the details as we get them into our newsroom.
Let's get started with breaking news from overnight this morning. Horry County Fire Rescue crews are investigating a house fire that started early this morning. The fire broke out around 1:45. A manhunt is still underway in Hartsville at this hour. We're going to go now to WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kinseth, who's been live in Georgetown all morning long. And now you're joined by someone who first discovered that fire, Amanda? We're sneaking up on 6:31, and we begin this half hour with the dangerous and treacherous road conditions right now across our area.
Definitely true out there in the PD, but there is some good news for that area this morning. The South Carolina Department of Transportation now says it has enough salt for PD roads to get us through this next blast of winter weather that we're dealing with as it rolls through all morning long.
WPDE News Channel 15's Tanya Brown has been reporting from Florence live all morning long near Pamplico Highway. Tanya, what's it looking like now?
Good morning, guys. It's still raining and sleeting here in Florence, and it's getting icier. You can see the ice starting to form on elevated surfaces like cars. I'm just looking at all the cars that are driving by with icicles dangling from them. As of now, DOT is reporting that patches of ice are on Highway 76 in Florence. Patches of ice on Highway 76 in Florence. That road is not closed. It's still open, but if you have to travel on it, they're asking that you be very, very careful. DOT spent much of the night spreading that salt brine mixture on primary roads, interstates, and bridges in anticipation of this ice storm. They want to make sure that those roads are as passable as they can be. I just got off the phone with Florence County Emergency Management. They have now activated their Emergency Operations Center, but with a limited staff. They will be having a briefing later this morning to determine if additional staff is needed. They're working with the Red Cross and law enforcement officials, as well as first responders, in effort to make sure that they're doing all that they can do to help you in this storm. Now, in addition to DOT, Florence County Emergency Management, Florence City and County Public Works are also working extended hours. They're helping DOT to clear some of those secondary roads and sidewalks. I'm Tanya Brown reporting live in Florence. Crystal and Jack, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Tanya. We'll be checking in with her all morning long to keep an eye on those PD roads, as Darren mentioned. Definitely one of our primary areas of focus during this storm. But right now, road conditions in Horry and Georgetown counties also becoming more of an issue.
Many bridges in the area were shut down overnight because of the icy conditions. And Highway Patrol told us this morning it is causing a widespread problem. They're asking you to use extreme caution, specifically on the bridges across the counties.
Definitely stay off the roads. And if you can, Amanda Kinseth has been live out there all morning. She continues our team coverage near the 501 bridge over the Intercoastal Waterway. And Amanda, how are we looking at this hour?
It is still wet out here. The precipitation still coming down, and actually the water right here on the sidewalk, it has turned to ice. So that could be happening along the roadways, especially along those overpasses and bridges. So just use extra caution when going over those. The bridge behind me, the 501 bridge right here that goes over the Intercoastal Waterway, well, it was closed last night. There were several wrecks on it, so they closed the bridge in both directions, and South Carolina Department of Transportation came out and salted and sanded the bridge so that it could reopen. However, the icing on the bridges, well, that could become an even bigger problem throughout the day and tonight as the second wave of winter weather moves in. So just take caution, stay off the roads if you can. If you do have to go out today, well, then remember these tips as you are driving to stay safe. Don't use cruise control on wet or icy roads. If you do start to skid, turn into that skid. And don't slam on the brakes. Now, if you have anti-lock brakes, then go ahead and apply firm, consistent pressure. If you don't have anti-lock brakes, then you want to tap your brakes. Highway Patrol says to keep a safe distance between you and the car in front of you. And remember, South Carolina law says that if you have those windshield wipers on, well, you need those headlights on too. So if you have to go out on the roads today, just stay safe because it is kind of slick out there, guys.
Amanda Kinsiv live in Myrtle Beach for us this morning. Thank you, Amanda.
So we've got Tanya in the PD, Amanda here in Horry County, but we're also checking in with some local cameras, traffic cameras, things like that, using some of this technology to give us a better idea of what the roads are like out there.
That's right. We go to the DOT, Department of Transportation, camera on their website. You're looking at 501 and Singleton Ridge. This is in the Conway area. And right now, it looks like traffic is moving pretty smoothly. We're going to be monitoring, of course, the road conditions and any potential wrecks. And in the meantime, widespread power outages could be a possibility as well as this new round of winter weather moves in today. But crews are already out preparing right now.
Duke Energy crews from as far away as the Midwest and Florida. A total of 400 workers are en route to Florence right now. They should arrive by 8 o'clock this morning.
Ice accumulations are expected to reach over a ½ inch in some of our viewing area. The state's electric cooperatives are preparing for potential widespread power outages that could come with this storm. Falling limbs from trees are the prime source of outages. The problem occurs when ice and snow builds up on branches. Just a ½ inch accumulation of ice on power lines can add as much as 500 pounds of extra weight.
Check your supply of flashlights, your batteries. Have some bottled water and non-perishable food on hand. Make sure you have all of your medicines. It would be good to have a portable battery-operated radio. We also remind everybody, don't attempt to heat your home with a gas grill or bringing a generator inside. So you want to operate those kind of equipment in well-ventilated areas if it becomes necessary.
If you see any downed power lines, assume they are always energized and dangerous, and report them to authorities as soon as you can.
Now, we're also monitoring power outages in our area specifically, and one of the best resources we have for you to track outages, to report an outage, to get all the information you need is for you over at carolinalive.com. And there we've got all the major power companies listed, their websites, their contact information, lots of useful links on ways that you can kind of get the information you need and also help officials with reporting outages that you may have in your area. And we even have links to some live outage maps if the company provides them. And again, all that information there waiting for you over at carolinalive.com. Might want to take a screenshot of it just in case we do lose power and you can't charge your devices. Could be a good tip just in case you aren't able to charge that iPhone in the Carolina Live app later in the day.
Really good point. And if your power goes out, here are some things you can do right now to be prepared.
Once your power does go out, turn off or unplug all unnecessary electric items. And find out now where your candles, matches, flashlights, and backup batteries are.
Stay away from down power lines like we told you. Just assume that any of them you see are hot. Also, charcoal grills, gas grills, and portable generators should only be used outdoors. And keep your refrigerator and freezer doors closed tight to help prevent spoiled food.
And just a reminder, lots of kids out there enjoying a snow day today as all public schools in our area are closed once again. But you can find a complete list of closings, including private schools, daycares, government offices, and businesses. All that again at your website, carolinalive.com.
Unfortunately for most of us, we're not going to get that nice snow like some folks in the PD and the Border Belt area saw yesterday. We're already seeing that convert over to a freezing rain situation through Florence County. Marion and Dillon County, all the way to the Grand Strand, aside from maybe right along the immediate coastline and more so even into southeastern Georgetown County, where the temperature is right around the freezing mark. The Grand Strand and Myrtle Beach reporting 30 degrees. The PD, though, you're still in the upper 20s. So anything that is falling is generally freezing as it makes contact or even sits for a quick second. We are going to continue to deal with significant ice accumulations, especially more so for the PD and the border belt. In these areas, we will be seeing it as a long-term freezing rain event, where the Grand Strand starts out as freezing rain this morning, but as temperatures get above freezing, it turns over to a very cold rain. We will see a very cold day from start to finish. The good news is conditions do improve a little bit for us as we go into the start of your Thursday. We'll break that down for you. We'll go into an in-depth look at your upcoming weekend when things do get warmer for us, coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
It's 6:39, and for people who live in areas that got a couple inches of snow, they're enjoying this rare sight.
It's not all ice and danger. This was the scene in Dillon late yesterday, where some pretty beautiful snow blanketed much of East Main Street, clinging to trees and branches, even shrubs, homes, and mailboxes as well. 9-year-old Jesse and 12-year-old Ashlyn Miller were out building a snowman yesterday afternoon, and Ashlyn tells us why this is the perfect kind of snow.
It sticks more, so you're more able to make snowballs and make snowmen.
Definitely the right kind of snow for that. The Millers say they'd like to see even more so they can continue their winter fun.
It was the same sight in Marlborough County. The weather wasn't stopping people from getting out and about. Bennettsville residents say they're using this opportunity to enjoy the snow and take in this rare scenery. There was not a lot of activity, as you can see, around the Marlborough County Courthouse yesterday. But for those that did get out, it was a rare chance to see their town covered in snow.
And this was the scene in Laurinburg, North Carolina. Residential streets turned into a winter wonderland as snow fell all throughout the day. Looks pretty nice.
It really is pretty. Time right now is 6:40. Of course, we're going to have more winter weather coverage as soon as we return. We are following developing news out of Georgetown as a massive fire has engulfed the Georgetown waterfront. That fire broke out in a building on Front Street this morning around 6 o'clock. Take a look at these pictures. We're told this fire spread. Now 7 buildings are involved. In fact, we're told the entire waterfront is on fire. We've had crews on scene for the last couple of hours, and WPDE News Channel 15's Joel Allen is live there in the historic district. More on what happened. Welcome back. It's almost 6:52 this Wednesday. New recommendations by the Myrtle Beach Planning Commission for changes to the zoning law for adult businesses are now going before City Council.
Commission members tweaked the language to better define what an adult business is. They also recommended changes to say that if an adult business is already up and running and a school or church is built nearby, then that adult business can remain in operation. The recommendations now head to City Council, which is reviewing its adult business ordinance after Horry County made major changes to its law last year.
It's 6:52. The town of Atlantic Beach is considering a few changes to this year's Memorial Day Bike Fest to try and boost attendance. Town Council passed an ordinance yesterday on first reading to lower vendor permit fees for this year's festival. Retail vendor fees that had cost $900 to $1,100 in past years will now be in the range of $550 to $850. The town's mayor says they want to boost attendance because Bike Fest has long been a major source of revenue for the town and will likely stay that way for a while.
Until we get on the road to development and getting some other revenue in other ways, Bike Fest would probably be here.
Town manager William Booker says council could make more changes in the second reading of the ordinance. This year's Bike Fest is being held from Friday, May 23rd through Monday, May 26th.
Conway's Bucksport Marina is at the center of a debate over economic development versus environmental concerns. Yesterday, local environmental advocacy groups held a special press conference to speak out about plans to change Bucksport Marina in Conway. The Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority submitted a permit application last November to turn it into an industrial marine commerce facility. If the permit is granted, construction and dredging part of the Waccamaw River will need to happen, and environmental groups say this will not be good for the surrounding environment, including water and air quality.
Why are they doing this? Is it really necessary for an industrial park that will certainly impact the community that is there?
Grand Strand Water and Sewer CEO Fred Richardson says it gives the area a unique chance to recruit new types of industries, and we would create new jobs. And a push is being made later today to step up protections against scams and abuse for South Carolina's elderly and vulnerable. Lieutenant Governor Glenn McConnell and State Senator Thomas Alexander are set to introduce legislation in just a few hours that closes loopholes in a 1993 law that attempted to protect such citizens. The legislators say their bill expands protections for those over 60 and the vulnerable from abuse, neglect, exploitation, and human trafficking. South Carolina has 900,000 seniors, a number McConnell says will double in 15 years.
It's almost 6:55, and lottery lovers, this is for you. You have just hours left to buy your chance at the $400 million jackpot being drawn tonight, and the cash payout, just a cool $227 million.
You know, just a little bit of pocket change. You need to get your ticket by 9:59 tonight for the 10:59 drawing. The odds of winning the jackpot, only about 1 in 176 million, but who's counting? If no one wins the jackpot tonight, it'll get even bigger for Saturday's drawing. Let's get you out the door with meteorologist Darren Stack at 5 minutes till 7.
Yeah, but just a side note, your chances of winning if you don't buy a ticket, 0. Maybe grab a ticket.
This time of year can be especially slow for local restaurants. Of course, less tourists are in town during the winter months, so that's why Restaurant Week is so important to some of their bottom lines.
WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kinseth is live at one of those restaurants, Croissant's Bistro and Bakery in Myrtle Beach with the details. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning, that's right. And we started to make the salad earlier. You did something really delicious to the pear.
We have a new addition to our Good Morning Carolinas family. We're just keeping this one. We're not even going to do our Pet of the Week segment, right?
I think Jack may be bringing her home.
That's both the good news and bad news today, is that I will be most likely bringing home a puppy. We're going to get to Pet of the Week in a little while, though, and definitely you get to meet a lot more great animals like that.
Stick around for more information on this pup, as well as the cold that we're dealing with. If you're going to maybe take your dog for a walk this morning, but get ready for so much warmer weather. I'll have the details on that coming up here in a few minutes.